Hi, and welcome to Dream Interpretation Coach. My name is Paula Bridges, and I talk about dreams. Now, in this series, I host an informal discussion between Billy McKee and Dr. Barbara Condron regarding dreams during our Om Chanting Challenge. Now, in part 11, Billy dreamed of molded bread. Now, in the next dream, he's showing his father in law where we had been fishing in the past. What does fishing mean in a dream? Dr. Barbara Condra is going to help us figure that one out.
You want to go ahead and get into the first one here, which is relatively short. Second one is a little bit longer. I've got super conscious in both of them. So the first one starts out where I'm driving my truck on a very familiar major highway, just right by the house here. The direction was noted as we were going westbound on this. So we're coming from a small town in the country that's 20 miles east of us and driving down this road towards our home. I'm coming home. Sitting in the truck with me is my father-in-law. Okay. And so we're driving westbound, coming towards home. I asked him if he was in a hurry to go anywhere or do anything, because I wanted to take a slight detour before we got home to show him something. And he said he was not. What I wanted to show him was a place on the side of another road close by. It was just one turn off of this road, a couple of miles detour. And that place was a creek that went underneath the road into a small lake. And Paula and I had gone there and fished. So his daughter and I had gone there and fished like 14 years ago, one time at this one place. And I wanted to show him. One more thing before we analyze this is relatively close to the house too. It's on the other side of the lake. It's not a place that I drive there that often, but like the 3 days before this dream, Paula and I passed that place and I pointed it out to her again, saying, do you remember when we came here and fished, many years ago? And so once again, there's something being drawn from a daily action or thought or discussion that I've had that's put into the dream a few days later.
Right. Drawing from what is in the dreamer's life during the day. So let's look at the symbols. We haven't really done that with the dream yet. There's a few basic symbols that you've got. So let's really dive deep into them and see where you go.
So the vehicle is my truck. That's my body, and I'm driving. So I'm in control. No one else is driving.
And what does that mean? Let's linger there a minute. What does that mean to you that you're in control?
It means that I'm taking care of my vehicle. Okay, I'm taking care of my body. That I have and as you know, I do a lot of activity on a daily basis almost, with regard to swimming, biking, or running because of training for triathlons. And so that confirms to me, I would be concerned if my truck was in need of repair, or if someone else was driving it, or if I was sitting in the back seat, or if I got in a crash. Mm-hmm. It might be telling me I've been, overextending myself. I need to back off a little bit, or things of that nature. So this tells me that what I'm doing is fine. So the way I'm taking care of things right now with regard to my physical body.
And there's something that you want to show your father-in-law.
Right, which he represents my superconscious. All right.
And what does that mean to you?
Oh, that it's, well, I know, intellectually what it means, is the superconscious is the seed of our creativity. It feeds us uh, gives us our energy to go through life and do what we need to do in this classroom. It's our divinity that we hold within, and any parent represents that. I didn't have a chance to do a search, but this might be the first time, we've known each other for 15 years, Paula's dad and myself. So this might be the first time I've had him in a dream. Usually when I've had my father, who's been deceased for many years, he's been in the dream. I've had my grandfather quite a bit, my maternal grandfather, my mom a few times, but I think it's the first time I've had Paula's dad in a dream.
That's really significant, I think. And I think it probably is somewhat related to your practice of Om, because Om is the seed sound of creation. That, what's interesting, let's linger here just a second, that this would be true for anyone. When one is practicing with the Om, it's a seed sound. So it's the sound of the universe. And it's keyed to the sense of sound and to sound waves. So dreaming is keyed to the images. And even though there's sound in a dream, the images are what is the key factor. So it's geared towards sight. So your day practice is in attuning yourself to that seed sound. His presence, superconscious mind's presence in a dream, at this point, one of the things I would look for if I was dreaming about superconscious aspects while doing this is the pattern, because it is the seed, and the seed is a really good analogy for superconscious mind and its purpose and function. A pattern is also a good one. And the Stargate material that we'll get into with the Om Challenge as we keep going is an illustration of that pattern, because it has the Shi Yantra and the flower of life in it, which means that you get the yin and the yang working together. What's really important, I think, here is that it's your wife's father.
Which brings commitment into it.
Right. Well, and also subconscious mind. So you have subconscious mind, superconscious mind, and then you in the dream as the conscious mind. So that flavor's there, even though Paula never actually comes into the dream, right?
Right.
But it's her dad. So it's that, you said that this dream was following day 19 of the challenge, and day 19 of the challenge is called the overview effect. And the overview effect is linking us back to the relationship of the individual to all of humanity and how that works. And so one of the illustrations of that I brought up, that I focused 19 on, was the astronauts being in space and looking at the Earth,
right,
and what that experience truly is. So the way that your mind took that is to give you back you and your father-in-law. Because the superconscious mind is going to have that superconscious view. It's going to be like the astronaut that's out looking at the Earth from afar, and the Earth's just really a speck in space. And what that experience of that actual sensory experience is like. And so this dream and the next one that you're going to tell are relative to that experience with the Om. So the interesting thing is what then happens in your dream, what's interesting to me particularly, is that you ask him twice if he's in a hurry, because there's something that you want to show him. So your dream is a lot about time. It's about, it's bringing in the flavor of past, future, and present in terms of how you relate to your superconscious mind. And what is it that you want to show your father-in-law in the dream?
I want to show them a creek that Paula and I had fished in many years ago. We never make it there, but you know, as you know, fish in a dream is has to do with habits. Am I correct on that?
It is a habit because it's an animal, but it also, because it's food for us, and the action of fishing is actually acquiring the food, putting out the effort to acquire it. And that didn't happen in the dream, but it's in your mind. So what that would tell me is that there's some kind of spiritual knowledge that I have been invested with my subconscious mind, you know, through that commitment in gaining. And I'm now ready to present that or to relate that to the superconscious mind. Okay. And that it's very important that I do that. And that doesn't happen yet, but it's very important that it happens. And I think, again, that's back to your practices, you know, not only your dream work, which is a key practice because you're very dedicated to your dream work. Putting the Om on top of that, you know, or with that, then you've got the spiritual discipline and exercise that is in a progressive movement forward that has all the qualities of spiritual knowledge that's enriching you in your experience. And so the dream, I think, it's kind of like, in one way, it's telling you what you've done to get here. And in the same time, it's telling you that this is a step along the road that you've yet to take. And that's the essence that I get with the dream, that combined with the fact that it's important that you not hurry. You know, that hurry factor is like this undercurrent of theme, I think, in this dream.
Yeah. Because I asked him again towards the end of the dream. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it makes more sense now you say that about the spiritual knowledge and the fish being food, because when we went to this place to fish, you know, we had every intent, and with the fish that we caught that day, we brought them home and cooked them that evening and ate them. So, and, you know, and we don't go fishing a lot. It's an event that happens, you know, every 5 years maybe, you know, and we never go fishing without the intent of whatever we're catching, we're eating. So, yeah, that wasn't made up. It really did happen. So
kind of taking that overview effect and stepping back from what we've said, it would seem to imply that there are ways that you have invested in spiritual knowledge earlier in your life that now is coming back around, which is that spiral evolution that I talk about a lot, that is, you know, something happens here and then you move along a trajectory and the same opportunities arise again. This is why sometimes we have people in our lives where it's like, you know, we have a boss that was just like a teacher we had in school, and, you know, they really helped us or were mentors to us, or they didn't like us, you know, whatever it was. And here it is again. Or people that we date or marry, you know, that it's like all of a sudden we're here with the same person that we dated before and it didn't work out, or, you know, something like that. So that's owing to this evolutionary effect, because physically people go in a timeline that's linear. But what I teach is that multidimensional consciousness. So it's not linear. It actually has the opportunity to catapult up, quantum leap, and move in a spiral that is in synchronization with the spiral DNA, and also with what the East calls Kundalini, the creative energy. So, and that's part of what the Om Challenge is about and evolves into, is that as a healing ability and a healing quality. So that's kind of underpinning everything that's going on. And what your dreams are is your story in that. It's the picture of you in that. So let's go on to dream 2 and see what insight it gave you. Yeah.
All right. So
dreams are your story. I love that. Now, stay tuned for part 13 of our series, when Billy has his grandma appearing in his dream.